So you got the email. After months of writing, rewriting, second guessing, and hitting refresh like it's a sport, you finally have a PhD interview. Take 5 seconds and celebrate that. Seriously, an interview means your application worked. You did something right. And then, right after that, the panic creeps in because now your brain starts asking all the uncomfortable questions. What are they going to ask? How do I stand out? What if I freeze? How do I convince them I am the one? Hi, I'm Dr. Banda. I've gone through the PhD interview process multiple times in the US and also in Canada. And over the years, I've also coached many applicants to ace their PhD and DrPH interviews. This is not by giving them generic advice, but by guiding them and building a system that works. And that's what you are getting today. Here's the truth. A PhD interview isn't an interrogation. It's a risk assessment and a fit conversation. The committee or the program is asking, can this person do research in our environment? Will they finish? And will they be as a strong colleague for the next several years? So in this video, I'm going to give you my 6-step playbook to turn anxiety into control. So you walk in prepared, calm, and credible. Let's get into it. Step 1, build a prep timeline. I know step 1 is simple, but it's where most people sabotage themselves. You really need a timeline. The worst approach is leaving everything to the last 2 days, then trying to read papers, rehearse your answers, and fix your nerves. Sometimes even figuring out what questions to ask all at once. That is not a preparation, that's stress. As soon as you confirm the interview, pull out a calendar and work backwards from that date. If you have 2 to 4 weeks, you are in a great position. In the early phase, you do the heavy lifting, reading, mapping faculty fit, and building your story. In the last week, you shift into performance mode, mock interviews, practicing delivery, tightening your narrative. And in the final 48 hours, it should be light review and confidence maintenance, not learning brand new information. The key is to actually schedule it, not something like I'll work on it later, actually scheduled blocks. For example, Tuesday 4 to 6 p.m., read 2 papers from my potential supervisor. Thursday 7 to 8, practice my opening narrative. Saturday, mock interview. That's how you walk in calm because you've already done the work. Step 2 is becoming a mini expert on them, right? Not overwhelmed, not obsessive, mini expert. Because the panel expects you to do homework beyond the department's homepage. And this is where you start separating yourself. Start with the faculty you're most likely to meet. Oftentimes, they'll give you their names, they'll indicate to you even the link to their website. Go to Google Scholar and focus on 2 categories. First, 1 or 2 of their most cited papers. This shows you their foundational work. Second, 2 of their most recent papers. This shows you what they care about right now. You don't have to memorize the papers, but you should be able to speak intelligently about the direction in case that comes up. Then zoom out to the department ecosystem. Who else is doing related work? What centers, institutes, lab, databases, or data sets or collaborations are unique there? Because in a PhD, you are not only joining one person, you are often joining an environment. And finally, you need a basic grip on the core literature in your area. This cannot be overemphasized. Not 20 papers, 3 to 5 key references, so you can explain what gap you're trying to address and why your question matters. That's what makes you sound like a researcher in training, not just a student hoping to be selected. Step 3 is crafting your core narrative. That is your story. Most interviews start with some version of tell me about yourself. That is not your cue to ramble about your life story. Your job is to deliver a polished 60 to 90 second answer that connects 3 things. What have you done? What you want to do next, and why this program makes sense for your trajectory. Think of it as the trailer, not the whole movie. Then you want 2 why statements that don't sound generic. Why a PhD and why this program? For a why a PhD, the committee is listening for realism. A PhD is long, it's uncertainty, it's feedback, it's revision, it's resilience. They want to see you understand that and still want it. For why this program, be super specific. Mention faculty work you read, mention training resources, mention the environment and how it aligns with your goals, and finally have a clean research pitch at 2 levels. A short version, 2 to 3 minutes, and a long version if you're presenting. Here is the expert move. Don't only sell success. Mention one realistic challenge or limitation and how you think about it. That signals maturity. Step 4 is what many smart applicants underestimate: behavioral signals. Programs are not just admitting intelligence, they are admitting someone they can work with, because a PhD is a working relationship. So you should separate or prepare a small set of stories that prove qualities like resilience, collaboration, and independence. You don't need to memorize speeches. You need a few experiences you can communicate cleanly, like times you handled feedback, solved the problem, managed conflict, took initiative, or recovered when things didn't go as planned. The committee is thinking, when research gets hard, and it will, trust me, how does this person respond? Your story answers that. Step 5 is practice. This is non-negotiable. You can write brilliant answers and still underperform if delivery is shaky. Do at least one mock interview with someone who can challenge you. Do one mock interview in a panel format because the pressure feels different, and record yourself at least once. It's uncomfortable, but it's the fastest way to catch filler words, rushing, rambling, nervous movements, things you don't notice in real time. If you have a presentation, rehearse until it's second nature. Keep slides clean, don't hide behind them, and practice transitions. Clear transitions make you look calm, structured, and mature. Exactly what committees associate with successful PhD students. Step 6 is game day logistics and follow-up. So if the program or if the interview is virtual, test your mic, your cameras, internet, lighting, and background. If it's in person, do a dry run of the commute. Know where you're going and arrive early. Bring a folder with your CV, research summary, and a notepad, not because they will ask, but because it signals professionalism and keeps you grounded. And after the interview, send a thank you note within 24 hours. Keep it short, specific, and professional. Mention one meaningful point from the conversation and reaffirm your interest. This is not begging, it's follow through. So that's the 6-step playbook. You build a timeline so prep is controlled, not chaotic. You become a mini expert on the faculty and training environment. You craft a core narrative that's research forward and specific. You prepare behavioral proof that you're trainable and resilient. You practice until it sounds natural like you, and you handle logistics and follow-up like a professional. And remember, the interview isn't only them, it's also you evaluating them, because the best PhD program isn't the one with the loudest name. It's the one where you can grow, produce, and finish. Now, if you want more support and you're serious about performing at your best, we offer a one-on-one PhD or DrPH interview masterclass where we do targeted mock interview, refine your narrative, and build your exact interview strategy for your program and faculty. If you're interested, check the link in the description to our website. And in the comment section, tell me, is your interview virtual or in person? And what part of the process is making you most nervous? See you in the next one.